In this final video, you're going to put all of your drawings onto sheets. So the first sheet that you're going to need to create is down here. If we right click and we do a new sheet, you're going to have to load up the A sheet because it's not preloaded. So you click load. If you can't see these, you got to type in that special code that's on the board. We're going to go into title blocks and then A 8.5 by 11 vertical, and you click open. Now I've already done that, so I'm going to X out of this. So this is the sheet that you want. You click that and click OK. And I've already done that also. And you're going to name this first one 3D Exterior Renders. So in order to get a rendering of this, we'll go to your 3D view. And let's select the view that shows, a lot of the interesting pieces of your home. And then you go up to here and you click Render. Set the render setting to medium. Medium goes pretty quickly. And if you set it, everything else, all the other settings should be okay. If exterior you set it to sun only, that's fine. Click render and let it render. When it's done, click save to project. And then it will save it in a new renderings tab. You're going to want to save this one according to the compass direction that it's facing. This one is facing southeast. So I have a southeast render. I'll open that up and show you. There it is. And I also rendered the other corner so we can see all aspects of the home. That one is in a lower quality. So then we're going to drag these onto our 3D render sheet. Render southeast. You may need to resize it so that it fits onto here. And then render northwest. And it should be titled 3D renders. That's great. And you also should be able to see that it says render northwest, render southeast, because I'd like to be able to see that so I know sun orientation. So if you want to click this and you want to resize it, if you right click, you can activate view, and then you can click it one more time and then click and drag to resize this. My size turns out to be pretty nice, so I'm going to keep that as it is. I'm going to right click and deactivate view. And it's good. Now let's just set the owner name, and I'm going to set this to my name. So that way when it prints out, you'll know that it's yours. Please put your first and last name. So that's how we create the 3D renders. You're next going to create one for the main floor. So if I make a new sheet, and as you can see, it titles all of them with my name. So that's something you only have to do once. I'm going to add my main floor to this, and yours might show up enormous. It will until we click on it and oops, and right click and activate view. Then if I scroll out, I can choose here to see the crop region. And your crop region might be enormous, and we did this with the shed. So I'm editing this right in the sheet view. You can also edit this in the main floor view, again by clicking the same button, the show crop region down here. I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit. Make sure that all of your text is showing. So if you need to go back to your main floor view and move your text around, go ahead and do that. Now you want to unshow hide crop region, and then I'm going to deactivate view. So now it's set the way that I want it. Your scale for this should be 1/8 inch to 1 foot. And that should show you everything that you need to show. Let's move on to the section view. So for a section view, we need to create that. We'll go into our main floor view, and we're going to click section. And you start by clicking on the inside, and then go to the outside, and I want a cross section of one of your walls. So this is a great one. Don't do a gable end. So you're not going to go this way. You're not going to go this way. We're going to go the top or the bottom. Well, depending on how your roof is oriented, I suppose. Now that is our section view. So now we have to go down to the project browser and look at our section. And we need to edit this. Let's shrink this down. Bring this up. Now I can't read any of these the way that they are, so we're going to need to spread these out. But before we do that, we might be okay. Before we do that, you're going to need to click thin lines, so you can see my lines don't have thickness anymore. That's what I want. I don't want them to be thick lines. I'd rather have you choose a section that doesn't have a window in it. I don't really like that my window is in here. The last thing that we need to do is change our detail, which is down here, to fine. And that's exact, that you can see all of a sudden my flooring has shown up as the different layers in the flooring, the different layers in the exterior wall, and the different layers in the roof, and my ceiling. Everything is shown up, so I'm going to be able to see that you've done all this correctly if you go down to here, and again we click fine. Now that's my section view. Let's see if these all get spread out on the sheet. So we're going to go down to the sheet that you created and labeled section view. Again, you have to create a new sheet for each one. I'm going to click and drag this section over here, and this is obviously too small, so we're going to change the size of this, and I believe a 1/2 inch is what I was looking for. And now, as you can see, we did luck out. We don't need to adjust where these are located because we actually can see all of them. However, I need to activate view, and I need to trim this down so that it fits on my piece of paper. I don't need the full roof, just need to be able to see that you edited that there. And I don't need the bottom of this, so we'll trim that up. And then get rid of our crop handles and deactivate view once more. Now this little doohickey, we need to move that up in place to show section. It appears as though I need to slide this right side in also because it's not quite showing. That pulls all that text in. So that's looking good. And I forgot to get rid of my crop box, so let me activate view one more time, and I get rid of my crop box. Gone. So we'll deactivate view. And that's how you do 3D exterior renders, main floor, section view. I'm going to make one more video for 3D interior renders and for elevations.